JT Art Journey here, and I just want to thank all my new subscribers. I have had a lot of you guys join very recently, and I am so appreciative of it. Thank you for joining the community. I love you, and I hope that you guys enjoy my content. I'm a mixed media artist, and I just am here posting videos about my journey, diving into different mediums and experimenting, and hopefully I leave you guys with some tips and tricks along the way. And if not, maybe I'm just a voice you want to play in the background while you create your own art. Either way, I am happy that we are here together, and today I'm going to be getting into how I draw skin tones, and especially darker skin complexions, because I know there's not too many videos about that here on YouTube. So I really wanted to post content that I feel I haven't seen too much of. And this is definitely something that when I first started drawing, I wish I had seen more of. So hopefully this gives you something, and if not, hopefully this is just a little fun second chill with me video, if not. But I am also going to be talking about my experience with my first month here on YouTube and how posting content has gone, my mentality, because I definitely feel there's been a lot of back and forth with every day you post, and you know, there's certain things that I didn't expect along the road that we'll be getting into in this video. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for joining along, and if you are not subscribed already, I hope you push that subscribe button. But if not, just like, share the video, let me know down below what you think or what kind of videos you want to see next, and we'll work as a team, okay? Because that's what this is, we're a team. So I want to make you happy, and you guys letting me know what will make you happy will make me happy. So I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks.
Hi guys, so here you just see me using my kneaded eraser to lift up a little bit of that sketch. I know a lot of people use kohl erase pencils to do their sketch, so that way they don't have to really, use this, but I still use graphite, so I'm just using that to go ahead and lift that up. And then I start in with my lightest shade, which is PM93, a burnt ochre, to give a base layer for her skin. And I'm going to use this on her face, arms, chest, anywhere that there's skin, and just kind of give that first initial foundation layer. And when I start out, I'm just going around the edges of her hair, her eyebrows, nose, and everything, just to block out those shapes for me, just because I did make the sketch so light.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention it, but I am using Toned Tan Strathmore paper, and I just I have a layer of, it's like a paint palette paper, and I just put that underneath so that way the marker doesn't bleed through onto the page behind it. But that is what I started out with. And I feel like the markers definitely absorb well into these paper. I just kind of wanted to give a toned background as opposed to using a white paper. And I just feel like that would bring some contrast to the piece. So we'll see in the end how it goes, but I definitely feel like that was a good step. What do you guys find as one of the most difficult, or what's your easiest detail or feature to draw on a face? Because for me, I definitely have been into an era where I love drawing eyes, and I feel like every artist gets into that phase where they just draw eyeballs everywhere. But I definitely feel like once you get it down, it's definitely something you want to do over and over again, because you just see yourself improve every time you do it, and it just becomes really interesting. I definitely feel like a feature that has been a little difficult for me would either be a toss-up between noses and lips. I feel like I have lips drawing them down, but drawing them in different forms, like, in the mouth open or turned to the side, which is why I've done a few sketches up top, as you can see, where it's a side profile, just because I want to work on my technique, being able to change it. I don't want to get stuck in just, only being able to draw it on one way. Because the more you do something, the better you get, and you can even get to a mastery level, but what good is that if that's the only thing you can do, So yeah, I'm just trying to make my skills a little bit more versatile, but I'm still going in with that first color, just going ahead and deepening up her skin. And I'm gonna do a few passes with this, as you'll see going forward. But I feel that while I'm doing that, we can definitely talk a little bit about how my experience with YouTube has been. So I feel like when I first quit my job, I just, I was really motivated and encouraged. I was definitely scared, really scared about how I was gonna make a living and whether or not my husband's job would be good enough to, suffice. Like, it will take care of us. It'll just mean cutting back on a little bit until I get this going. But I have faith that if I keep up with everything and I just continue to develop my skill and stay consistent, consistency is key, So I felt like as long as I do that, I shouldn't have too many problems. Did I have hopes and dreams that I would become an overnight sensation? Kind of, as one does sometimes. Was that a little bit of a crazy thought? Just a little bit. But I definitely have delved into the more realistic side of it and seeing what that really means. And consistency is a lot harder than you think. Like, I would say that being consistent is the biggest thing, and that's not just, I first thought that meant drawing or posting one video on all my social media accounts a day, which is good if you're not used to it and you're just trying to get yourself into the practice of things. Maybe for your first week or two, posting one video on everything just to get into the routine of it would be good. But I definitely feel like, especially if you want to hit those watch hours and just get traction on your page, you definitely need to be posting a lot more. And whether that be full YouTube videos or shorts, that's up to you. I feel a method that I've been doing a lot of research, and I feel a method that I've seen and that I feel will work for me is I've been posting at least 2 to 3 shorts a day. And then outside of shorts, I'm trying to make sure I post at least 2 actual full YouTube content videos a week. Now, right now, I am not too great at the posting the full video part. I've just been trying to build up, my subscribers, my page with my shorts. But I'm definitely going to get more into making sure that I post those 2 videos a week, because I feel that's definitely going to be a help. And it just helps you get into the idea of, like, it really makes it real that this is your full-time job. This isn't just a post here and there type thing. This is something you really have to dedicate time and energy to. And I feel that if you take a couple of days out of the week to possibly but to record your content, and then you take another 2 days out of the week to just kind of edit that, then you can schedule when you want to post them, or you can post them as soon as you're done, your choice. But yeah, I feel like that would definitely be a help. And then with this marker, I'm not only taking this marker and going over her face, but I'm definitely taking that marker down onto the rest of her skin, so her chest, her arms, and just making sure that we have an even layer throughout. And then while I'm doing that, let me see. So far, I feel like what I've learned from this whole experience, especially mentally, is not to be in your own way. Because it's pretty easy to just be like, oh, there's so many people doing what I'm doing already. There's so many people who want to post either painting or pencil pieces or this or that. There's so many content creators doing it already that it can feel very daunting and just very discouraging. But I would say shush that voice in the back of your head. Don't let that control what you're gonna do, because no one is you and no one can do what you're doing. So just take a chance, put your content out there, whatever it is. If you like to do food videos, if you like to post about art, if you want to post about your day in a life and vlogs, like, just do it. And I know that with the vlogs, it is a little bit harder if you don't already have a fan base, because there's so many people doing that unless somebody has been personally invested into you and what you do and care about you already, they're just not going to care about what you have to say. And that's just a general census of the generation, the times that we're in, is if they're not already interested, they won't really be. But you can gain interest in other areas. You can offer your content in other ways, and offer them something that they need. You have to switch your mindset from what do I want to post about 100% to what do people come online to watch, and then kind of like mesh that together with what you want to do, and I feel like you'd have greater success there. So for example, what I'm trying to do is I want to post about my art journey, right? And just like you, I'm learning and growing every day. And what I go online to watch, I watch how-to videos. I watch certain things that give me tips and tricks on how to tweak what I'm doing. I look at different people and see how our area, our environment, the people around us, they shape who we are. So I just feel like getting in as much feedback, whether that be watching videos, talking, researching other old artists, all of that contributes to you and what you have going on for yourself. It either lets you see what you do like, what you don't like, what you want to add, what you want to try out and see if it would fit into your style. And really, art is just about having fun and experimenting. So if you're not experimenting, what are you doing, really? And I definitely feel like when you get into YouTube, you need to make sure that you're not just doing it for the money, because that's been a big source of, that's definitely something I want to be able to do, is gain financial freedom through either passive income on social media or through selling my actual original artworks online. Either way, money is definitely a contributing factor, but it shouldn't be the entire reason why you do it, because you're not guaranteed as to when you're going to hit those subscriber numbers or those watch hours. And when you're not, if you are just in it for the money and you're not getting that immediate satisfaction of getting, flowing income right away, it can be very discouraging. And I don't want that to stop you on your journey of creating content, because if you just stay consistent, chances are eventually you'll get to where you want to be. So I just feel like you should definitely be doing it for the love of what you want to do. I personally was just tired of working in corporate America. I'm good in corporate work, but it's not what I want to do. I don't want to make money for someone else. I don't care enough to do that. That wasn't something I could see myself doing in the long run or doing every day. Every day it just felt more and more and more draining. And that wasn't what I want for my future. I want to create art. Every day it was in the back of my head just nagging me what I want to be an artist. I want to create. I'm wasting time at this job instead of doing what I really want to do. And I want to be an inspiration to my kids. I have 4 beautiful kids, and they all seem to like drawing or art in one form or another. And I want to be an encouragement to them that they don't have to stay on the main line. Like, they can venture off and be an entrepreneur and follow their passions and dreams. That's not the type of encouragement I had growing up. So I just want to make sure that that's the type of encouragement I am for my kids. And how am I going to encourage them to do that if I don't have faith in myself and believe in myself enough to try as well? Now, I definitely have skills and a degree that I could fall back on if things didn't pan out, but I'm not thinking that way. I am being so positive because this is going to work. This is going to be what I do. So far what I've done is gone over with the base layer of that lightest color marker, burnt ochre, and then went over it again. I just deepened up and did multiple passes with that marker just to like deepen up the skin. And then I went in with light umber and did the shadows. So I went along her, the collarbone line, deepened up her chest line area, her arms. And how I approached doing the face was as how you do makeup. And I kind of left highlight areas and where you would contour with shadows and, so that's how I did her nose, her jawline. The only thing I would change here is I think instead of using that darker color on her jawline to immediately like darken it up, I would have either looked for a little bit lighter shade just to make the blending a little bit easier, or I would have just gone over multiple more passes with the first initial color, so that way it would have just been smoother, and then I could have deepened it up more with my colored pencils. And these here are Prismacolor Premier Colored Pencils, so they are a wax-based pencil. I've used other brands like Faber-Castell, Lear Rembrandt, Caran d'Ache, Derwent, and I love them all, but Prismacolor has always been my go-to, whether you're a beginner or not, because they just are so beginner friendly and they blend so well. So whether you're a beginner or not, they're just a really good option as far as pencil, because they allow you to make smooth blends, and I just feel like they go really well together. Now I know a few people have had issues with how the core can be off center sometimes and how that can affect things, and sometimes the inside can be broken. But I haven't had too many of those issues, so I definitely still vouch for these pencils. I love them, and I've been using them since I was 16. And I'm 24 now, so that's what, 8 years of using these pencils, and they haven't done me wrong. And then the only thing that I've noticed with these pencils is, since they are wax-based, if you use too many layers of them, they will start to get a waxy film on them, which is not the greatest. It's kind of ugly. But what I do is I take this green brush that you just kind of saw me, the paintbrush you saw me hold a second ago. And yeah, this brush is a Artist Loft Byron's number 2 round brush. And I use this here, and I just kind of dip it. I pour some odorless paint thinner into a top, and then I tilt it and then just kind of rub my brush along the residue, and then dry it off a little bit with a towel. And then I go over it with, I go over the area with that and just kind of blend it out. And I definitely feel like, you know, it could be a lot to have to use the towel to dry it off first. It could take off a lot of the paint thinner because I'm already barely putting any on. But if you use too much of this stuff, it'll either just stain your paper and leave an oil stain in the middle, which will ruin it, or it'll lift up the pigment instead of blending it out, and that's not what we want. So I definitely feel like drying it off and just getting off as much as possible before going on to your piece is more helpful, because you can always add more later, go over more passes with it, but you can't get rid of that oil stain once it's on the paper. So I definitely feel like less is more with this product. And then when you use that, it blends out the pigment and destroys that wax base, so that way you kind of get a fresh start every time you use it. So you blend it out, and it deepens up your colors, gives you more saturation. And then after that, once the layer dries, you can go on top of it with more color pencil, and it's as if you haven't gone over it with pencil yet. So you don't have to worry about getting that waxy, filmy layer, and you can just put as many layers pretty much as you need to. So I definitely feel like that has been a trick that I learned years ago that I have loved, and it's been a part of my art practice ever since when it comes to colored pencils, because it's just so handy. I get a fresh start every time I go over it. I definitely have also gone over the hair with that light umber color, the darker color marker, and just to give it a base layer, and then I'll go over it with some color pencils in a little bit, just to, you know, give it some dimension, shape, and hair texture. And then as you see me doing here, that paint thinner is your best friend, or whatever place you're on. I'm on her chest right now, but arms, chest, any skin, anywhere you're using pencil, you can use this paint thinner. Just make sure that if you're switching between colors, that you definitely put some more of the paint thinner on there, and then rub it off on the towel, so that way it doesn't smudge your colors together. Because if you go over skin, and then say I colored her shirt yellow and went over it with that, it will definitely leave that residue on the shirt, which you don't want. So for clean blending every time, make sure you wipe off your brush with some more paint thinner, and then that gives you a fresh base. Another thing that I feel that I've learned when it comes to YouTube is to stop watching videos passively. I know that we all consume media, so while you're doing it, take that time to do your research. Especially if you're watching a content creator who has a bigger platform than you and has been doing this a while, or has a bigger following, I would definitely take a look as to why their videos are doing so well. Why did you tune into the video? What does their thumbnails look like? how long are their videos? What are the titles of these videos? And what's the overall feel of the video? Is this a chill, relax with me video? Is this person upbeat and has a lot of energy and that kind of motivates you to get going? Does this person just get straight to the point and doesn't do too much talking, just shows you step by step what you're doing? Do they do how-tos? So just really take note of that and, you know, try to implement a little bit of it into what you have going on, so that way you see what is succeeding on this platform, and that'll help you develop your style into being successful on this platform as well. And so far we've gone over the type of research you should be doing, and what type of posting and how to post the videos you want to post. Now, my last thing I would give kind of advice on would be, I know that it's nerve-wracking to start posting your content, but just do it. Just do it. Whatever you're into, whatever you're thinking about, just try, because you'll never know until you try, and you'll never get better at anything until you attempt it the first time. The first times I try drawing anything usually is a fail, but a fail is where you learn. When you succeed, you don't really learn too much except that you know how to do something, which is great and it feels good, yes, but it can also feel good to fail, because when you fail, you're like, where you can look at what you did and observe where you went wrong. When I do drawings, and say I do a profile drawing and I do not like how the face came out, I look at why I don't like it. Did I draw the eyes too far apart? Did I draw the eyes and the nose too far apart? Are they too close together? What is off about it? And I make note of it, so that way when I look back at my sketchbook later, it's not just an ugly drawing, but it's a drawing that taught me something. It taught me how far I want to put things next time, or how I want to do it, so that way I am happy with the outcome. So I've gone into the skin now with my base colors, done a couple of layers of blending, and as you see, her skin is getting a little bit darker and smoother, but I'm still not too happy with that dark shadow on her jawline, so I'm just going to continue to blend things out there. And eventually, in a second, you're going to see me go into her skin with that beige sienna, and it just kind of helps to tie it together and bring a little bit more highlight back to the areas I've gone over, because I didn't want such a harsh highlight line. So yeah, I'm using that pencil now to kind of bring that out, and it kind of overall blends it a little bit more together. So that's what I'm doing here, and I hope so far you guys have liked what you've seen and like the technique or the tips that I'm using, and maybe you've seen something here that you'll add into your own style. And if not, I thank you for just taking the time out your day to watch my video, hear what I have to say, and I really appreciate it. And one more thing that I would say would definitely help, that I'm going to start implementing myself, is write a script. Not 100% script of like everything you're going to say, because I feel like that would be kind of hard to do, to lay out every single thing, and maybe you'd feel more like a robot if you did that. But I definitely feel like some type of script, just to give you a layout of what you're going to talk about when, would be helpful, because when you don't, I definitely feel like you don't want to miss anything, is what I'd say. you don't want to miss any points that you really want to hit, and you want them to be cohesive with the video and the overall feel of it. So I just feel like the script would definitely be handy. And I feel like that's my last little tip from my first month on YouTube. Oh, and another thing, what I've seen on here that I didn't expect. I don't know why I didn't expect this, but it makes sense now that you think about it. So when you gain subscribers, you just feel excitement, like, ooh, another one, you guys, another one, and it just feels so great. But it's a roller coaster of emotions being on social media, because you'll one day, what I noticed, I gained followers one day. I gained 50 followers one night, and then I was getting traction like that, and I went from 35 subscribers to 100 subscribers in 2 days, and I was so happy, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's paying off, people are really liking what I'm doing, and it's really encouraging. But then you have things that happen where I literally posted and thanked you guys for getting to over 100 subscribers, and then within a couple of hours I lost like 5 subscribers. And then within the next few hours, I gained like 2. And then I was steady at that number for a day. And then the next day, I got back up to the original number I was at the morning that I posted the thank you. So I feel like that definitely can be something that, if you let it, can become discouraging if you're not anticipating it. Is not everyone that subscribes is going to stay subscribed. So you're going to constantly be going through this back and forth of gaining and losing, and that just wasn't something that I was originally expecting. So I wanted to make sure that I threw that in here for you guys, so you know that that is definitely a possibility. That's definitely something that happens, is you gain and you lose. But the people that stay are people that are really here for your content, and they're people that they're in your corner. So I thank each and every one of you guys for subscribing and staying and being a part of this community, and just helping me get a little bit closer to making my dreams come true. And I love you guys for it. So yeah, you're not always gonna stay where you are, but hopefully the growth outweighs the loss pretty much. And even if it doesn't at first, eventually you'll find your crowd, you'll find your people, you'll find the people that are looking for what you're offering. So don't let that discourage you. Keep posting your videos, and good luck to everybody. I hope we all reach our goals and our dreams and succeed in everything we're trying to do. here I've started to add in more details. I've gone over her top lip with a darker, I've done raspberry and chocolate together to try to, you know, give that deeper shade for the top lip, and then done a lighter shade on the bottom just to represent what our lips naturally look like. Then I've gone in now and put in her pupil, and I'm just starting to add in more actual details into the piece, so it's getting a little bit more realistic, I feel. As you see here, you see that when it gets wet, that shine that the paint thinner gives off. That's why you want to make sure that you don't use too much, or else that shine will stay there. As you see, my shine has gone down, but I'm just going over the details of her eyelids and just deepening those up and making them look like they're not just sitting on top of her face, but blended in. And I'm so mad because I forgot to record. I thought I hit record, but apparently I just took a picture of the process of me adding in the color pencil to her hair. So I just went in with chocolate, sepia, and a tan color for the highlights, and just went over her hair multiple times and gave her curl pattern and made sure that I made the hair go directionally in how it was sitting. And now you see me working on her shirt, which is, I used a Copic marker, which is the R46 strong red, to color in her tank top. And then I used that raspberry colored pencil just for the outline and the shadows, just to make the separation lines between the edge of the shirt and the inside of it. And I definitely feel like this was a nice color combination. And what I've noticed with alcohol markers, the Copics meshed really well with the Prismacolor markers, and I just think that's because they're alcohol based. So my consensus is any alcohol based marker, as long as you get to it before it dries, will blend beautifully. So yeah, I mixed those two right now, and that's what I have going on for her shirt. But yeah, that's the last part that I'm working on. And then I'm gonna add in some black for where her hips or her pants will be at the bottom. And I thank you for following me along today and watching this video. And I hope you either got something out of it, or you just had a good time watching and listening to me talk. And I've done a lot of talking in this video. I think this video I've done the most talking. I'm gonna work on making my videos a little bit shorter, because I have seen that that's definitely something that I've taken note of in the videos that I watch. I like long videos. I like watching long videos because I definitely watch them while I draw. So it's just good to get this advice and have background noise for me. I'm a background noise person, but not everybody is. So I want to throw in some variation into my page. So I'll make sure that I throw in some short video options for people who aren't wanting to click on and sit there and dedicate 30 minutes of their life to listening to me talk. But if you have made it this far in the video and you're still here, thanks for watching. I love you. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. And I will see you in the next video. All right, thanks. This brand new, it's called a Zig Cartoonist brush pen, white, and it's a small brush, but it's water-based pigment, and I had seen a lot of reviews for it. It says it's great for highlights and illustration and manga artwork. So you kind of twist the top. You have to put it together. You twist the top, take off this yellow ring, put it back together, shake it up until the paint comes out. But I kind of think that mine's a little defective because I have the paint kind of spraying in different areas. So it wasn't the easiest to use, so I definitely ended up resorting to my regular uni white gel pen to fix the highlights. But I'm just going to go ahead in with this white pen for now to go in and add in the highlight in her eyes and on her lips. That's all for that. And then I went in with my gold marker for her earrings. But other than that, yeah, that's all I have left to do. But I just didn't want to forget about that part because I definitely was excited to try out this pen. So I feel like it gave amazing highlights for the eyes, but I just wish it wasn't a little defective so I could have gotten better highlights on the lips. But that's my fault. It's probably user error, so I'll just work on it and see if I can make it work for me. All right, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.